shocked horror, I done an order with Peter's Spares because he was the most competitively priced, and the few people that had this in stock were talking. He hasn't got a lot of stuff in stock. I was sort of going through to make the order up, and they said, "Oh yeah, no, it's out of stock. Oh no, it's out of stock." But yeah, fake cool loads for HEAs and MGRs. On the premise that I have got some more MGRs coming, so I'm going to do the same as the ones I've bought from the exhibition and put cool dust and crushed cool on them, and then obviously depending on what you're modelling, a coal station or coal mine or a power station, they're either loading or unloading. You can remove the loads and simulate, a train going in and getting filled or emptying. Some roof ventilator, just basically little details. If I use plastic card or a little Pico thing, I can just add a little bit of roof detail. Or if there's some wagons I buy that have got bits missing, just sort of more of a spares part. And again, I bought the Hornby ones. I'm hoping they're the same as the Bachmann ones, but sod's law they won't be. Because I had that wagon that got one snapped off. If not, that'll be getting glued because I'm not paying Bachmann's price for their pack of these. Well, I've only seen them with a coupling, so you're looking about £10 for 10, £11. And the Hornby Sea Cow buffers weathered are a third of the price of the buffers that are unweathered, but basically they're glorified tacks. I've even got a sharp little pin end, which is basically what I'm going to do, is just drill a hole in my plastic Lima Sea Cows and push this in to save cutting off the whole buffer and moulding in and crafting in a new buffer head. But these were nearly as much money as buying a pack of Acura scale ones that are sprung and full, the full Oleo buffer beam or buffer head. So I bought those as well. They did have the option of like the full assembly, but you're talking £5 something then, which again the Acura scale ones are £3 something. You can get them off their website, delivered direct to the door, and the postage is included. Another Lima Sea Line, CK, whatever they are, the ballast wagons. I've got one with missing bogies, or that's got kit ones on it that are knackered, so I've bought another pair to buy. I've bought another pair to fit. I think I should have got the Gloucester one actually. I've cocked up. I have to check they've put the right one in or whether I ballsed up, because this is the one that goes on the PTAs with the brake wheel, but splitting hairs anyway. I've got two of them because the ones that are on it, I can't. They've cut this piece off, which I can glue an M pocket fit into. The ones I've got fell apart. I could repair it, but this piece is all missing. So, and then they've glued the central keyway here into the bottom of the body, and that's snapped off. So there's no way of utilising an existing factory version unless you drill the hole in it and start all over again. So, and trying to find a pair of second-hand bogies that actually off a wagon to put back on it cost you as much as a bloody wagon. So this is the cheapest solution. And I was after the fuel kit, which I couldn't find. I gave up. This is the Nightwing kit, which is obviously ground level loading and unloading point. So this was 14 quid, which was a reduced price. Plastic must be getting bleeding expensive, is all I can say. But I bought it because I will try and basically model something similar to it, complementary to it, to maybe have a longer length of functional siding for a fuel unloading dock, because obviously I don't want to spend another £14 on doubling up, so this one might get modified somehow. But that was it. Some people don't seem to have much of a clue about packing, do they? Oh dear, here we go again. Right, let's have a look. Well, I wasn't sure, that was in the picture but it wasn't in the description, so I didn't know whether it was part of the auction contents or not, but we've gained some BR modern image posters, although I don't recognise any of them. I haven't looked at them in great detail yet, but yeah, we ended up with that in the lot as well, so I haven't included that. Damage wise, I think this was probably already broken one clip, not a major thing. I'm probably not going to keep that because it's the old cool ones that were converted for clay use, and I'm not planning on doing a clay wagon. I've got enough as it is. There is a body retaining clip snapped off or something. What, I don't know, because it doesn't seem to match anything in the listing, or on, you know, when I've examined the bodies. So what do we get? We have got, as you can see, a load more MGR HAA coal wagons so that we can complete our rake. We have, wasn't advertised as one, but an SAA steel carrier, which does have all the intact folding stanchions and the two ramps at the front, and some plastic pipe load. Now I know they generally £8 to £10 on Fleabay. An OTA, which were the old curtain side wagons that they converted and turned into log carrying wagons, which these generally make good money on eBay if they're in good nick, you know, £20 plus. Looks like we're missing an M fit in that end. It's seen better days, but it's still a usable model. We've got one stanchion snapped off in transit, which they can be a bit fun trying to prize them out, but you can buy the packs of these to replace them. The other side's got some missing. But again, yeah, that would probably still fetch a tenner anyway. An old coke wagon. I've covered them in the other video, about £4 each. One of these old wheel carriers, a couple of quid I guess. I wouldn't bother with it. I would probably just keep that in a box and do a job lot and get rid of them. The old clear story coaches, which basically saw many a livery and became whatever. Generic. This is an earlier triangle one with a riveted coach bogies. I mean, some of these seem to pay goes more money than it's worth. I don't know, £5. I wouldn't pay that for it, but you know, £4 or £5 I guess. It's got the weight missing. No interior in these ones. A grain BRT wagon, which has got all of the iron supports, because they usually end up over the years getting broken off. I got a few with snapped pieces. I did manage to source a pack of 5 new bodies to make a grain wagon up. Bit of an earlier period than mine, but yeah, I mean they're a £5, £4 or £5. MGRs we know. Yeah, I watched some the other night and they, I think 4 made £37 plus the postage. Yeah, Lima, looked like a steel carrier or some description. Wheels look a bit sort of oversized for everything else, but it's got interesting bogies on that may find their way onto a PTA maybe. Being Lima, these are almost certainly HO that have been repurposed for the UK market, hence the D-ring couplings. Don't think that's something I would be using. I may just salvage it for the wheel bogies and the metal wheels and bin the rest, or if the bogies aren't any good to me I might re-wheel them and just put them in a job lot and keep these wheels for something else. They don't seem to be. Those ones are Hornby ones. Hornby Silver Seal. They're not Lima. The ones on there, they're Lima ones. So yeah, they might get robbed for spares, those two. So basically, yeah, I paid 102 quid for the whole lot, which seems a lot of money. That's including the postage to get it to me. But that works out at £4.86 per wagon, which is, you wouldn't get any of these for £4, £5, you know, only the real naff ones. So, you know, swings and roundabouts a little bit, but obviously I bought it for those. And if you sort of, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, I bought it for these. So, I mean, even at the sort of price I'm used to paying, about £7, you're talking 77 quid's worth just there. So, the rest are bunce money, really. Plus that one as well, which will, you know, if I sell that one, that's probably going to give me £10 back. Obviously less eBay fees and whatnot, but yeah, I'm going to put it to one side, and then when I've got a collection worth listing, I'll chuck a load on Fleabay of the stuff I ain't going to keep or use. But yeah, not a bad deal. I would have liked to have got it for about £70–80 maybe, but I knew with it having these, people could potentially value these at £10 each. So, you know, 110 quid there. But luckily no one went that much money. I weren't going to go that much money, even with the OTA, which I'll keep and use for a rake, and the SAA, that I'll probably keep. The coke wagon I'll keep for the steam error, so they'll be spares or repairs. The Great Western I'll sell, and the little wheel wagon I'll just chuck in a job lot with, you know, a mix of old wagons just to get shot. But yeah, I shall have to have a count up how many MGRs I've got now, see if I'm close to the full size rate. Did forget the ubiquitous northeastern brake van, which does seem to have the handrail wiring intact. And it's a Bachmann one. Yeah, minus the couplings, they've been redone into drop links. Again, something I've got more of these than I need. I've probably got more brake vans than I have MGRs.